When reflecting on the collaborative team meeting, it's important to note that there are certain indicators that we want to be able to look for in regards to the effectiveness of this critical structure within the collaborative structures and processes. Oftentimes when we see the meetings not having the impact that we would like to see, one of these four things is happening. It's interesting because as a school administrator, I live through each one of these myself as we help to continue to refine and adapt the processes involved in that collaborative team meeting. So the first thing that we see is when your meeting is focused exclusively on high needs students, it's likely not having the impact that we want it to see. The collaborative team meeting is not meant to be the space where we are continually coming back to your highest need students. This is why the layers of team are so important. We want to be able to say if there's students that are already being addressed in one of our more intensive layers, like the school support team or in a case consult environment, then they're likely not students we want to be surfacing repeatedly in the collaborative team meeting. Now, if a key issue is raised for a particular student and it relates to one of our higher needs students, then fantastic. That is just great. But when the sole attention is being placed on students that you're already talking about within the school, it's probably an indication that we need to look at revamping the collaborative team meeting. Second thing that we see is when the conversation is just about updating. Being able to let everyone around the table know things that are happening with the students, some recent events that have happened, if something has occurred at the playground, maybe a home environment change. Again, that's not intended to be the purpose of the collaborative team meeting, that we're just updating one another on what's happening for our students. That may be a vital part in one of our other layers, but not in the collaborative team meeting. Another indicator that your collaborative team meeting may not be having the impact that you'd like to see is when the majority of the focus is on out of the classroom supports. When you look at the actions and the primary amount of actions or majority of actions are going to individuals other than classroom teachers, again, that probably is indicating we're not operating the collaborative team meeting with the highest degree of fidelity. We understand that there are going to be times where we need to look at out of classroom supports, but that becomes the primary result of conversations, again, in some of those more intensive layers. In the collaborative team meeting, we want the majority of actions to be focused on what could we be trying in the classroom? What could be a subtle differentiation that I could make as a classroom teacher? Then fourth is when we see that the collaborative team meeting is just a space where I'm reporting to everyone else what it is that I'm doing for a student. When I bring up a student and I let everybody know all the things I've tried, what's worked, what hasn't, and it's just sharing what is it that I've done. We sometimes see this really come to the surface as well when schools begin implementing or adopting software in relation to the collaborative team meeting, where we open up a student and just utilize it as a time to be able to update supports, strategies, interventions, accommodations I'm already putting in place. Again, the collaborative team meeting is not meant to be the space where I report what I've tried. It's a space where we want to be able to brainstorm and think about what could be some next steps. So what we would want to see in a collaborative team meeting, then, if they are having the impact that we'd like, we would see a responsive support for our students, of course, but more importantly, that it becomes a space where we can examine and adopt impactful instructional practices, that we get a chance to expose each other's collective instructional toolboxes and be able to benefit from that conversation of talking about what are things that we can try within the classroom. And really, when we know the collaborative team meeting is having immense impact, it's when I'm coming and seeing impact for the things that I'm trying or can take away. When I can leave a collaborative team meeting just a little bit stronger than when I came in. And by stronger, I mean with another tool, another resource, another website to continue to add to my repertoire. This builds, again, over time through the process, high degrees of collective efficacy when we can really feel confident in the things that we are going to try as a result, and then be able to come back in our celebrations and report successes that we're having as a result of our practice. So I hope that these indicators of when your collaborative team meetings are having less impact than you'd want to see, as well as the aspirations, are helpful as you continue to break down what are the structures and processes integral to a collaborative team meeting.